Hello out there in television land. It's a new belt day. Yes, it is. Representative Mikey, are you running for office?
No, I just figured, I might have some inside knowledge in case anybody needs anything. Maybe I could be your rep.
I don't know. Is that a thing? Are people saying things about that? I don't even know.
Possibly, everybody's got a rep now. So, damn it, I'm going to
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me about that, so I'm coming in unknowledged about this.
So I'm going to be my own rep. See?
But a lot of people have Fanatics reps. It's not just my Fanatic rep that I talk to. I talk to people higher up in the organization because of something that happened about 2 years ago over a belt. And I, being me, went out and got the emails of some important people in the Fanatics orbit and emailed them. And I just have stayed in communication with a couple of them over the course of time. And then we had the thing where they were, it was a whole thing, but you remember with the thing with coins and all that stuff. So we've been chatting back and forth. And so whatever that is, I don't know if people are upset about that or not. I have no idea. And I don't care. Because today is a new belt day.
Always a good
That's
day.
what we're going to talk about. New belts.
Yes.
And to that end,
You know about the ends, that's for sure. Yes.
I was just thinking of the one person who I would think about who's really like super jealous if somebody else has sources or connections. I was just thinking of that person. Just popped in my head in the nick of time. But anyway, I'm going to show some of this stuff and we're going to have a good time.
Hey, Platinum, how are you tonight, sir?
The Platinum. We don't do that thing in the beginning of our show, though, where we say hello to 67 people. That's not a thing. We'll do it as we're doing the show. We just don't spend the whole first 10 minutes saying hi to everybody. That's kind of weird. All right. So this is, I'm supposed to be getting more tomorrow. Now, I will tell you, Mike, that I checked USPS tracking.
Yes.
And it was in Las Vegas. And the next scan was moving through facility, moving through network, arriving on time. But it hasn't shown it landing anywhere else. So I have almost no belief it's going to be here tomorrow. And I said to the guy before he shipped, I was like, USPS.
Out there somewhere. You can get it.
He's a good guy. But I said, bro, I was like, please use FedEx. Please use UPS. But he had a lot of stuff to ship to a lot of people. So I understand. I said, USPS is the worst. He said, well, it says you get it Saturday. I said, there's almost no chance.
Yeah.
I will get it Saturday. There's almost no chance.
Really.
I have almost no faith in that. And it's not his fault. It's just, I would tell anybody in this hobby who is shipping stuff, is don't use USPS. It's the absolute worst.
But I'll say this. You will be getting a package from UPS tomorrow, supposedly.
Yeah, correct. Hey, just real quick before I do this, you know, like it's a bad thing to make money now and stuff, right? When you do a raffle, when somebody does a raffle, do they make money in the hobby?
I mean, I guess so, unless you're only selling enough
to pay for like retail and shipping and tax.
Yeah, to just pay for what you paid for the belt and the shipping. I mean, otherwise, yeah, you would be making anything above
$750. If you paid $750 and you had a raffle, and all those raffle tickets added up to $1,600 or $1,700, that would be making money, right?
Yeah, I mean, who else is that money going to? Is it going to somebody else? Is it going?
I was just curious. And raffles are against Facebook rules, aren't
they? Yeah. Last time I heard they were. I mean, at one point, let's be honest, Drew and I had discussed it, and we were like, nah, because we don't get in trouble,
Yeah, I would say to people in the hobby, like, if you don't want to lose your group, you should be real careful about doing raffles. Like, especially if like you piss on other people and it makes a mess. So I probably wouldn't do raffles. The raffles would be a thing I wouldn't do. And we don't do them in our group. And so I would just suggest that to people because Facebook's strict about those rules. So that's just a word to the wise. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the hobby. We're going to talk about none of it here tonight. But what I'm going to do is show you this. So we'll start here.
Yes.
This is the first part of my new belt day. So we have the Welcome to WrestleMania. This is the most common of the mini belts. I ordered all 3 mini belts. And the other 2 are supposed to be coming tomorrow. Again, I have almost no faith in that. Almost no faith. that will be coming tomorrow. Because it is what it is. It's USPS. They're horrible. So I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is the shop version of this particular mini. And it is the golden.
That does look nice. That actually really does. Are you smelling it?
Yeah, what's that? You know what it has? It has the Cody Rhodes weight belt smell, bro.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have bought the Cody Rhodes weight belt, but
yeah, this
particular weight belt really smells of some kind of like polyurethane or something, and you can't get rid of it. Like, it doesn't go away.
No.
It's kind of crazy. There's a little silica packet in here. And Mike, please, not you, Mike, the other Mike. If I butcher your name, I'm sorry, but this is from Mike Keleon, Kyleon. Very quick shipping, very easy transaction. And so here you have. Now, this is a full-size belt for a very tiny person.
Yes.
And on the back, you have the WrestleMania. All rights are reserved. All the rights are reserved. They have reserved all of them. You can't have any of the rights.
None were skipped. Every right. Yes.
All the rights are reserved by them. So no rights for you. No rights at all.
But what about a left?
Sure. Like a judge who breaks the law by harboring illegal aliens.
Yep.
You have no rights.
I'm gonna say it depends probably on the figure. I think it would fit a 12-inch figure.
I think it would fit an LJN.
Yeah, it'd be too big for an LJN, I think. Really?
Well, it's certainly not going to fit any of the Mattels.
No. I'm saying maybe like a 12-inch scale figure would probably fit. It would.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but
not any of the current. Maybe like the old Hulk Hogan 12-inch, the Roddy Piper. You remember those guys?
Yep. Yeah, I could see that maybe.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it fitting that. And then I wanted this since like last year. It's the one I didn't get. There's two I wanted.
Was it a Grail belt for you?
It was not a Grail belt, no.
Okay.
But I had gotten the Winged Eagle WrestleMania 40. I did not want and still don't want the Big Eagle or the Spinner. I know a lot of people are crazy about them. I was not. But this one I really wanted, which was the modern, and I debated it, and then it was sold out. And so I was like, I'll get it when I get it. So I got this from Thomas Knapp, and I had to get this, believe this or not. Got this at retail price. Retail price. He could have sold this for a lot more. It goes for a lot more. But I got it at retail price. So I was really happy with that. And the shipping was quick. And I'm very, very happy. And we got the new Big Eagle here today, too, which I know people are wanting to see. That'll be next.
Yeah, we're definitely showing that. So call your friends.
This is why I wanted this. It's so beautiful.
I admit that does look nice. I mean, as busy as the strap looks, it does look nice on the strap.
Well, that's the thing. I like the busy strap on this. You get your WrestleMania 40 plate. The Spinner I didn't like because it just had two side plates and it was just really weird. And the Big Eagle had two side plates and I wasn't down with that. Now, this strap, I would say, is a little stiffer than your straps today. But it does have the backing cover. That's a beautiful, beautiful tip. It's the same one that's on the Winged Eagle that I have. And you have the back with our official patch. Still, all the rights are reserved. Just want you to see that. All of them. All of the rights. None for you. All for them. All the rights are reserved. Okay? And then we have this. But I'm not going to open this because, well, I will open it, but I'll open it off camera because the other person who has this is Mike Hold My Holinchek, and he's going to actually open this.
Oh, yeah, it's already open, as a matter of fact.
That is very true. That is very true, Joe. I took all the Goldens with all my Golden Time friends, and I don't think that you think of me.
So first,
for real.
He previewed it a little, but I'm just going to go over the bag a little more. And I mean, it's really a nice bag. Carmine really played up this bag, and I thought, well, he's stupid, so nobody listens to him. But he was actually right in this respect. This is a really, really nice bag. I love the Raw is War and the SmackDown logos.
I would have bought it just for the bag, dude.
And if that's not even a joke, probably. I could see you doing it.
No, I've done it before with the Winged Eagles.
Yeah, so which is hilarious and scary and just freaking wrong too. But that's all right. Here's the actual item in hand itself, brand new, delivered from Fanatics today. And I got to tell you, I have to say had now because it got shipped out today, and it's going to go to somebody where it's going to be gifted to somebody. But I had the previous version, I guess you call it the version 1 of this belt, the flat as a pancake one, and this one is better in just about every single measurable way. The main let's get to the main selling point. The one thing when I saw this and I saw that they were coming out with this, I was like, I have to buy this for one very simple reason, if nothing else, and that is the curve, baby. We got
it. The sides, you can see the curve even more.
Yeah,
hold it from the middle.
We got a curve, baby. We got a big curve on this sucker. I mean, you can even see to where like the ends like stick off, like the wing.
You know what? I don't think the camera does the curve justice.
It doesn't. No, I mean it's really. I'm trying to
fan out the sides. Hold it flat. Like,
you know what? Who you think you're talking to here? Just
no, but fan it out. I mean, like,
okay.
Yeah. There, now you can see the curve.
There you go. Yep.
Now you can see the curve,
and you can see what a deep, nice, beautiful curve that is. The 5mm plates on all the plates.
Sits right on your shoulder.
It does. And here's something which I didn't notice at first until I really started looking at it. I said to Carmine, look at this. So I want you to see these shields here. See the shields? Look at the texture. Look at the nugget texture in there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. The flat version, the version 1, does not have that. That's it's flat. There's nothing there. It's just, as plain as can be. So that's also an upgrade.
The gems are shinier.
The stones we talked about, whether they may or may not be, I mean, they definitely look great stones. They look better than your average. As to what they actually are, we don't know.
They're not cubics, but they're nice.
They're nice. And you get your property plate there as well. Also super thick, 5mm as well. And then the piece de resistance, as they say,
might be the best part,
is the backing. And this is real. I don't know if you could hear.
It's actual suede. It says on the site it's actual suede. So
that's suede.
Now, interestingly enough, I had shoes made out of that same material. They got stepped on.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that curve. That is a beautiful curve, and it sits just perfectly.
That has so much curve that belt has Peyronie's disease.
I'm just gonna say this. I know you can't see it. I don't know if I could get down there, but if you want to go down that far enough,
let's calm down there, pal.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. But I actually the bottom of the where the female snap box is and the bottom of the male snap box are not touching anything. Like in other words, it's not on the bottom of my chair. It's not holding it up. I'm just.
Oh wow.
I just have it over my shoulder.
Yeah, no, yeah, it just
and it sits there. So
our friend Joe came by today, put it on his shoulder, and it just, as you can see, it's not sitting on anything with me either. It just sits there. It's a perfect curve.
And one last change I forgot. I actually forgot. To me, this was not a big deal at all. I really could care less if it was either version. It wasn't a big thing to me. But of course, the logo on the main plate is now in white as well.
Yes.
Whereas before,
so that is a change.
Yeah, the V1 was gold, so
it is a change. So, it is what it is. It's absolutely beautiful, stunning. I had to get it because we were getting them, and you guys were getting them, and now Joe got one, and so me, I'm a child. I had to get it, but I'm really happy with it. I had an HD of this from Alianis, and I wound up selling it. And I have the blue Big Eagle in an HD from Alianis. But I tell you the truth, guys, if you can get your hands on this, you don't need to go and spend money on an HD. Like, the shop has upped their game so much. The strap is just butter. It's just butter.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no stiffness at all.
Not at all. At all. Oh, you can see it when you hold it. Like,
I mean, it's just
crazy.
Just floppy. Yeah. I mean, it just flops. You can see here.
It's just perfect. So if you didn't order this yet, if you were waiting to see a review or see somebody that has it first, get it. You can contact Mike or myself for a 60% off code if you buy it at Fanatics. Because three of us used that code. We won't disclose it here because
how much percent?
I'm sorry, 10%.
I was thinking, holy shit! You didn't tell me about that one. What the frick are you keeping to yourself, you bastard?
10%, and we saved $60. So I don't know what this word means. I would like to respond to it, but Aggie?
It's the Aggies. Isn't there the Aggies? Aren't they a football team?
Well, they did. Now, Platinum, let me stop you. Yeah. Let me stop you. The Winged Eagles are awesome. The current belts have nice, floppy, beautiful straps.
Mm-hmm.
But the Winged Eagles are the same as this. I'd say the same exact quality. So if you can get a Winged Eagle from them. Also, the Goldens are great. I'm looking at my Cena WrestleMania spinner and my other Cenas that I got. And they're great. So yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. That's life, right? But I've said this before. I'll say it again. If you can get over, especially like for these older belts, the logo situation, you will not be disappointed. These are as good. I'd say these are better in some cases than Maker belts, some HD Maker belts. They're about, I mean, they are. They're absolutely
really
amazing. I mean, the weight of this, the way it feels new the 5mm plates, the curve, the strap.
Also, what I like, yes, the new world heavyweight and the Raw tag are among the best replicas in the game.
I'm just gonna say, don't go to a Maker for world heavyweight. I can't say for the Raw because I don't have it, but don't go to a Maker for the world heavyweight. It's just terrible. They can't do it. They can't do it right. Put up Platinum's comment there because I'm gonna do a little something here. I'm gonna put this back down because I just happen to have not one but two Winged Eagles here. So let's just take a quick look at one, shall we? Let's do the. They're both all gold, so let's just do the black strap right here.
Well, you have the dual plated also.
I do, but it's upstairs. I'm not going to get. So I have this one here. So again, if you want to put me on, so again, this is the dirt. I'm trying to be careful because I want to knock stuff over. I mean, they've upped their game massively on the Winged Eagles.
Yeah.
You could tell there, deep etching, the relief piece for the world. Excuse the fingerprints on it because I didn't clean it before I brought it down here. You can see how floppy the strap is. Look at how deep. Look at how deep that sits there. Sidebars are attached. I mean, it's just backing. There's backing on covers the screws. I mean, it's just an absolutely amazing replica. And yeah, again, if you can get over that says WW there, and on the side plates,
and on such a small logo.
This is without a doubt one of the best replicas on the market today, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's great. I mean, again, look how floppy it is. Look
now, if you want to talk about detailing, though,
yeah,
you can't touch the current world heavyweight and the Raw tag.
No.
And the current world heavyweight, I got my Jey Uso plates on, but the current world heavyweight, I think, is right up there with the IWGP V4, the AEW V3, the UFC V3. I think it's right up there with those in terms of quality, detail. It's just an amazing piece of artwork. Jim Rogers says, "Are they ever going to put people's?"
That's not like this thick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thick, yeah.
It's crazy. Jim says, "Are they going to put a People's Championship?" At this point, I would say I doubt it. I think if they haven't done it yet,
I don't know what they're waiting for. At this point,
I mean, that's for not doing it. Is my guess, or they're waiting. I said this to you. If you noticed last year, they did 4 belts like this, right? I got 2 of them. This year they did 4 belts for Triple H. I got 2 of them. If Rock is the inductee next year, and I believe it will be him, if he's the main event inductee next year, you'll get 4 Rock belts. What will the 4 belts be? Will the People's Championship belt be among them? That would sell out the quickest if it is. So there was a lot of specialty belts this year too, because you had the Cena stuff. And if you notice the Cena stuff now, the spinners ain't selling. The WrestleMania sold like that. It's gone in a second. Mm-hmm. But The UK, I was able to get the second day it was available. No, I got it the first day, but it was still available till the second day. Indianapolis, I got, and that was the Royal Rumble, and that was gone quickly. I'll get SummerSlam, I'll get Survivor Series if they do it, and I'll get his last match. So I'll have all of those. And UK, I just got because it's freaking beautiful. And at least I plan on getting all those. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm out of room for belts. I really am legitimately out of room for belts. So
I've said, by the way, I'm just looking now because I didn't even look today to see if it's still up on the shop, the spinner, the guy.
There is something big in the hobby I do want to talk about.
Yeah, honest to God, still, I don't know if you'll be able to see it there. It's still available.
The Dallas. Let's see. Hold on.
The Dallas is still available.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked. But look, if you put out something for every single town, and it's the same design, just a different strap, you're gonna get stuck. Look at the Survivor Series. That belt's still available.
Yeah.
That belt is still available.
Away. No.
You can only run the same plate so many times. You know? And I think they said that was limited. The Triple H's are still available too, I think. But they said that was limited to like 210. And if that's limited to 210, then that's really bad. That's really bad. If that's a 210 limit and they can't sell it out in Dallas,
yeah,
they'll sell it out at the arena. You got to think they'll sell it out at the arena.
I mean, whatever's left, they're probably going to take down there with them. But, you know, I got to admit, the WrestleMania one is beautiful. It's the nicest one they've done so far. Definitely.
There is something, by the way, just real quick, while we're doing this, gather your friends because we are going to talk about something pretty big in the hobby right now. But go ahead, Mike.
And the UK before that was the best one. I think the WrestleMania one has supplanted that a bit as the best looking one. But again, I have zero interest in John Cena. I was never a fan of his. I never, I have a spinner upstairs. I have two spinners. One is the CM Punk one, and that's because it's CM Punk. And the other is a regular spinner, and that's just because, again, one of my goals was to have a version of every WWE championship, so I needed that.
My current regular spinner is with Richard Simpson right now. He's restoning it. He'll send it on to Ripley. Ripley is releathering it. I have a CM Punk. I never liked the spinner to begin with, by the way. I have the CM Punk spinner, have the 25 years of SmackDown spinner, and then the WrestleMania Cena spinner, the Indianapolis Cena spinner, the UK Cena spinner. So that's like 6 spinners. And I was never a spinner guy, but I felt like I needed to have a Restone releathered one of the real one.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I needed to have that. Just because it was one of the longest reigning belts. But a lot of these are going to go back into their bags and into storage, like a lot of the other spinners. I'll probably keep the Cena WrestleMania out. And then the UK I may keep out. It depends on if, like what Jim Rogers says, and you're not the first person to say it, if they do like a 4th of July or something, red, white, and blue stars and stripes Cena spinner, which they should. I agree with you, they should. I would get that and leave that out on display. So
there's only one I'm actually thinking about. And again, this is just thinking about. There's no even guarantee. I mean, look at it, it's the ugliest son of a bitch of a thing I've ever seen in my life, and I don't want it. But the only one that I've had any type of radar on and maybe getting is the one in December. The actual last match. The last time is now spinner belt, because I think that may be where that could appreciate in value as time goes on. We're talking December, so I got plenty of time. But all these other ones, I mean, what did they say? Didn't he say something like this past week that he has like was it 27 or 37 dates left?
Yeah, 27.
27. So are they gonna make? And this was before the Dallas one dropped. So let's just say that's one of those. So are they going to make another 26 John Cena spinner belts that they're going to put out this year before he retires? I mean, listen, if you're somebody likes him, go for it, man. If you're somebody who wants all those belts, God bless you, go for it. But I mean, you're going to need a whole room of just for Cena spinners. D-toffs and hanging and stuff, because that's all you're going to have. I mean, wow. Yeah. And I just wanna comment on Platinum's thing here. You did about, so he said they did up their game overall, but some about the art is off to me, and it could be, as well too. I mean, don't
Yeah, I
forget
don't know that kind of stuff.
there were so many. I mean, you got to remember at one point every single one was hand tooled, so every single actual ring used winged eagle was not the same as the one before.
So let's talk about this real quick. Cena isn't even that over to me. He may not be that over to you, but I promise you he's over like Rover and has been for 2 decades. He didn't get in that position and keep it that long because he's not over. He's over.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll talk about this one thing in the hobby before we're going to wrap this up before 8, right? So I don't know how many of you guys follow little things that go on, but this is actually kind of a big thing. So hold on. No, I hear you, bro. Same with the Reggie. Yeah. So all right. So this is kind of a big thing. So a lot of us get our belts. A lot of people get their belts from Pakistan. Pakistan is about to, it looks like, engage in a serious war with India. Now, these two countries have hated each other for time immemorial, forever. And I don't know why, really, because they're so closely related. But whatever it is, it gets intricate, and there actually are reasons that are long and historical, and I'm not going to bore you with them, but they should get along. Be that as it may, I'm reticent to be placing new orders in Pakistan right now. You guys can do whatever you want. I have orders outstanding. I would like to not lose them, but it is what it is. I would advise people right now, I don't care what the maker tells you. I don't care what the maker's middleman tells you. There is a war about to break out between India and these are two nuclear powers. Now, pray they don't actually go to nuclear weapons. I think they're both smart enough to not do that, but who the hell knows? But even if they don't, it's kind of hard to make and ship belts while bombs are dropping on your mud huts in your little village. It does get very tough to do that. So, that sucks, bro. So if it's me, you do what you want. But this is your official warning from somebody who watches the news every day and two people who follow the news every day.
I mean, they've actually already exchanged fire, so it's
they have small arms fire,
but still.
But it's the beginning, yeah, sure. And India cut off water to Pakistan, which is massive. Missiles, I don't believe as of this moment, missiles have exchanged. Have been exchanged yet, and hopefully, the United States, the UK, can get involved and cooler heads can prevail and avert a war. It would be nice if we can avert a war.
Right.
I talked to two of my makers who absolutely believe war is inevitable. But of course they say, brother, no problem. I still make.
Yeah.
But
yeah, here's the thing. If I being as somebody, because I actually had mentioned to you about a belt that I would want at some point to be made this year, but would hopefully be my quote unquote last belt of my collection. But I'm like, yeah, now ain't the time. No. If I had the money right now, if I had the money sitting here, $100 in my hand, I'm not going to do it. And like Carmine said, it's true. Every maker will say to you, "Oh, brother, no problem, brother. They nuked the village next door. It's good. We fine. We could still do belt for you." No. They're going to do anything they can.
They're going to tell you whatever they got to tell you, and then once they got your money, there's a war over here. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the middlemen. I'm talking about the maker. I'm talking about anybody. They're all going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
To get your money. And the middleman might believe their maker. Their maker is going to tell them everything's going to be fine, and it may be fine. What I'm saying to you is, for the next week or two, err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
See what happens. Because if a war breaks out, I mean,
no.
I wouldn't be ordering from a country that's war torn.
No, because really, when it comes down to it, where do you think the resources are going to go? To what's really necessary, or to hey, we gotta etch a belt there. We gotta etch some plates.
It's not even that. It's kind of hard to get international mail out in the middle of a war.
Well, that's it.
Now, that being said, take it with a grain of salt. That region is always on the brink of war. right? It's always on the brink of war. So, but
Well,
this is
well,
what?
platinum. Platinum. You gotta understand though. I mean, you know this. You've seen this. We've been this all of us have been in this hobby long enough. You know, these are the same people who will also look and say, "Oh, look, there's a maker who says he can make me the WrestleMania Golden Tile for $175.82. It'll be just as good." Yeah, I'm gonna go get that. And then when they wonder why it's a piece of crap that's falling apart. You know.
I would also say to you, Platinum, that maybe 50% of these people have no idea what's happening in the world in the news because they don't watch. You know, they're watching wrestling, they're watching this, that, which is great. But they're not watching other things, and so they might not even know about this. So there are going to still be people who are still going to order their belts from Pakistan and will be coming here in 6 months going, I can't believe my belt's not done. Well, they're in the middle of a fucking war. So, I mean, that's going to happen. If the war breaks out again, want to err on the side of caution here, there may not be a war, but golly, if you do some Googling on this, it looks pretty warlike at this particular point in time. So
yeah, it looks pretty bad, and again, you know, ultimately, it's going to be on you. You know, to either do it or not do it. So we're all adults there. You know.
Yeah, we're all adults, and well, I mean, we're kind of adults, and yeah, so that's like the biggest thing in the hobby right now that I could talk about. I think that's the biggest thing that people need to be aware of. And there was some other controversies in the hobby too, I believe. But exactly.
Well, can I say a little secret? Can I just say a little secret? Just a little something, just a little nugget to get people.
I'm afraid. I hope it's not anything we talked about.
No, not really. It's just it's amazing though sometimes about how how can I say this? I think how I want to say this. You know, how despised we are and can be and called scammers and pieces of crap and I'm so emotional baby and all that shit. But yet when we're needed, you know, people come running. It's amazing. That's, you know, all I'm gonna say about that. When
no, we're not the police. So any other controversies in the hobby we have nothing to do with and don't care about.
Exactly.
But other people are free to do them on there. There was a show last night, I think. I don't know if they mentioned it or not, but anybody's free to do it on their programming if they'd like to.
Yeah. I think we're just tired of being the pit bulls. Honestly, we're tired. And if people we don't notice this, we do. You know, we're not.
And I'm not in any group. Like I was thinking before about the thing I said about the thing, and like, oh, all the admins are going to kick them out of their groups. Now I'm not in any fucking groups. I left them all. I'm in like 3 groups, and if they kick me out of those, one of them's ours. If they kick me out of the other ones, I don't care. I don't care. I have like a life and a job. I don't care. But I'm out of most groups. So I mean, you can invite me back. I'll join. You can kick me out if you want. But if that makes you feel better, no. So I mean, it's all good. So I just want you guys to be aware of the Pakistan thing because I think that's important. And then, you know, now if you're watching this, like you've been warned, right? So if you want to order from there now, go ahead and do it. But it's on you. I've been ordering most of my belts in America now anyway. So, I mean, they're literally right now talking at work. Like, the Pakistanis have all their heavy metal on the border. They're literally in our signal chat right now, and I can't disclose most of it because it's a signal chat. But they're literally talking about it. I don't know if you have your signal open, but they're literally talking about it right now. But Pakistan has a bunch of heavy metal on the border. So,
I did want to bring one other thing up. No names are going to be dropped. No specifics are going to be dropped. I'm just going to say this.
Don't do it.
No, calm down. Calm down. It's not what you think. If you're somebody who provides a service, whatever that may be, you know, like as far as the hobby goes, if you're somebody who provides a specific service, you know, it's again, like Pam said, you know, the adults shouldn't have to be told this, but you know, it's probably a good thing if you actually do the business you were contracted for. You know, I've
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I just saw some stuff and I saw some stuff about somebody that something happened and they didn't provide the service that they were paid for. And I'm like, and then I know that, then the person's like upset that, that's being talked about and stuff. And I'm like, but you didn't, when somebody sends you their belts and they expect you to do the work on it, and it's like a year later and you still don't have it back,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I forget because I'm like I said, I'm not in the group, so I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. But you told me about this.
yeah, and then you wonder why you get a bad reputation.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt you.
Well, and this isn't the first time this has happened. And it's like, I mean, there's no, I can't, I'm
You
not
remember
here.
Lucky Hands, right? Lucky Hands was like the biggest releatherer in the game, and then he just right. So, by the way, a releather should take no more than 3 months. If it takes more than 3 months on a releather, if it takes more than 3 months, then you have too much work, and you should be turning down work. It should never take more than that. That's
No.
A lot of the releatherers in today's game are slow. I don't know what it takes to releather a belt, so but 3 months seems to me like a good time frame. Maybe 4 months seems like a good time frame. But I've seen people that can take like a year to releather. Like that's crazy. I haven't seen Asia yet. I don't know what the hell these people are talking about.
Asia, the chick who was in WCW, the fake China, maybe. I don't know.
TV. What's TV?
Boy, there's apparently there's other conversations going on that we don't know about. Like,
Are we saying stuff like in an alternate universe that I don't know?
Maybe we're saying code of some type. We're saying
this guy's talking about Asia. The other guy's talking about TV. I don't know what the hell's going on. We could be live right now in 2 separate universes, and in the alternate universe, we're talking about TV in Asia.
Possibly Asian TV.
So I don't know, man. That's wild shit.
I'm not sure what shows they have over there, but I'm sure they have some good ones.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Platinum says Ethan's cool. World War. I haven't seen Asia. Well, it's not World War. It's India-Pakistan War.
Yeah.
I don't think that would trigger a world war.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, unless they were actually dumb enough to use nukes.
Yeah, then people would get involved.
But I don't think those 2 countries are rogue enough to actually use the nukes that they have. They're not crazy. So it's a country like North Korea worries me about nukes more than anybody else. Iran worries me, but it's still there is that mutually assured destruction. So yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be World War III, bro. Yeah, Platinum wants to go to Asia. So no World War III for Platinum. Yeah, it's really lighting up the work chat, isn't it?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I've been on here.
So the thing you were talking about with the thing, we're not going to get involved in that. But
no. But I'm just offering some advice. If you're contracted and paid to do a specific job for somebody,
be it restoning, releathering,
whatever. Yeah, like maybe you should do it. I'm just saying, because then you wonder why people make posts and are upset and stuff, rightfully so.
Or you let the customer know up front. I'll give you an example. I have some belts being releathered by Red Leather, Ron Edwardson, and before I sent them in, he said, "All right, here's the time frame. Here's the list of people." Like he didn't tell me who, but here's how many people are in front of you for X amount of jobs. Here's how long it'll take. So I knew exactly how long it would take. I knew it wasn't going to be 1, 2, 3 quick, but I wanted Ron to do it. But he was upfront about it. It wasn't, I send him the belts, then he tells me, oh, here's how long it's going to take. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's going to take longer than expected or than people would normally anticipate, tell the customer up front. This way there's no confusion later on. But you can't take somebody's belt, hold on to it for 3 years, waiting to get stones in it, and then it's just bad look. That's not good business. And here's the thing. You could come out and you could be like, well, in my personal life, this, and this happened. Customer doesn't care, right? Like if you book a flight, okay, and you go into a hotel, you're going to go to WrestleMania, and you get to the hotel, and the hotel says, we just don't have any rooms for you. We were supposed to have the rooms, but
we don't.
We didn't block them off because in my personal life, this was going on. The customer does not give a shit about your personal life. That's a customer. This is a business. So your personal life has no bearing. If because something happened in your personal life, you can't do the job, send the customer their money back and their property back. I mean, that's it. It's like, that's it. You have options.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. We got to do them sometimes,
Yeah,
I
sometimes
like
it
him too. I just,
depends on the day.
hanging out is cool. I just don't want all the controversy and the yelling and the screaming and the let's get this guy crap. And everybody fight their own damn fights, and whatever. I mean, I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, we'll talk about stuff. I mean, again, without mentioning names, like you said about that issue. If you're contracted to do a job, do the damn job, and whatever the excuses are, it doesn't matter. You're contracted to do a job.
Yeah.
Nobody can go to work tomorrow and be like, well, my personal life and this happened and that happened. Okay, then you can't work here. I mean, this is work. It's a business, right? You want to be a businessman. You want to have a business. Oh, did I show that off yet or not?
I thought you did last show, but he wants to see it again.
I did, but he sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
He sent it to me.
He misses it. He misses it. He wants to see it one more time. You know what, Carmine? I think he's going to live vicariously through with that belt through.
Okay. So this is made by, help me out here, not Midwest. I keep saying Midwest. Wildcat. This is made by Wildcat. It is the MLW. It's American made, like Hulk Hogan in WCW. It's very floppy. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And when I saw it, and I'm not an MLW fan, but when I saw this belt, I was like, I have to have it. He was willing to sell it. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Very little curve. It's not super duper curved, but it is curved. Mike Jones loves this company, so he popped for this. Yeah, Wildcat. I always say Midwest, but it's Wildcat. Midwest is Reggie. W, and then I believe over here it says Wildcat.
Yeah, you can see it now. Yeah.
Cat of Wildness. It's just beautiful tooling, beautiful beveling right there. If you can see it, it's absolutely stunning. American made, official. So yeah, it's a beauty. It's definitely worth the price, and yeah, I don't think they're making them anymore. But Keith wouldn't sell me a ring used TNA, so this was the next best thing. And he's holding on to the TNAs. But yeah, this is really nice. It's one of the favorites in my collection, and I put it here with. I have a few more American made, but these 8 right here are American made, and then I got 2 more over there that are American made. Another one that's Australian made, and then I got some main event belt. I got 3 main event belts coming in. So right now, most of my stuff's either being made in America. Who's Hunter? Zach Hunter Lawson?
No, Triple H.
Oh, yeah. Well, but they can make it?
I'm assuming that's what he means because Triple H does have a big green in his, or he did in his old office. I don't know if he does in his new office.
Well, see, they can make it for him because he can tell them, yes, you can do this artwork and you can do this.
The logo and the WWF and all that stuff, yeah.
And the names, but I don't know if we could do that. So, because that would be something I would consider doing. Get an American made, I would do that. I would definitely do that.
Sometimes it's rather interesting. I said this to Carmine when you think about it. Guys like The Rock and Triple H are actually belt marks when it comes right down to it. So like we are, Triple H has all
is huge.
Yeah, Triple H has all those versions of the WWE Championship. I remember seeing back in the day, like when they did like an expose on, behind the character kind of shit and stuff. And he had to beat one of these big eagles in his office at his home. And he had Intercontinental, the classic Intercontinental. He had one of those in his home. So I'm like, yeah, so he kept those. So, I mean, yeah, here's, and The Rock, of course, has shown off that he has a few in his house as well. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. Some of the biggest names in wrestling, and the guys running wrestling kind of right now are actually belt marks. That's pretty cool.
The belt was actually the first thing I think that the Intercontinental belt, the Ricky Steamboat Intercontinental belt, at the time, when I first started tuning in, I think was held by Tito.
Mhm.
That was the first thing I noticed about wrestling was that belt. That was the first thing I noticed, and I was just in awe. And ever since then, the belts have always been artwork to me, much to my girlfriend's chagrin. She doesn't see them as artwork.
For me, it was the big green. I said, I saw that was the first wrestling belt I ever saw, and as ugly as
It's
it
ugly.
is,
I'm looking at it right there. It's ugly.
as ugly as it is, I fell in love with it because I was like, it was this big prize, this big, trophy looking thing.
Oh yeah, it was definitely awesome. Sure, when Hogan won it and held it up.
Yep.
I mean, the AWA, the Inmate. I loved the Inmate. Right? It's ugly, but I loved it. And then when you start seeing like the Winged Eagle and the big gold and stuff, like it was just another level stuff.
Yeah, that's when they actually started to like really put
Hogan 86, Hogan 86, and the 85, even in the 84 were great belts. The tags, the classic tags, the Bulldogs.
Well, the Hogan 84 and 85, if you think about it, though, they were just, a lot of companies had that basic design.
But once Reggie got involved, once Reggie Parks, may he rest in peace, once he got involved, that was a game changer. Like it changed wrestling belts forever. I would the whole thing.
I know people say the big gold, and that's fine. That's its own like stratosphere level, maybe, or whatever you want to say. But probably as far as WWF belts go, once that Hogan 86 appeared, that changed the game forever.
Yeah,
I'm concerned because then you could see the artwork and you could see the effort that was put to. There's a very. It's really true when you look at the big green, and even if you look at the Intercontinental from that time frame,
platinum,
and the tags from that time frame. They basically said, they went. The McMahons knew a guy who owned a trophy shop there in New York. Yeah, and went to him and just had to make some belts for them.
Here's the thing too. When I was a kid, and you guys probably dealt with this too, a lot of you guys, I always wondered, and Mike Tyson was really big when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember.
He was the Hulk Hogan of boxing. And I always wondered, why do the boxing belts look like shit compared to the wrestling belts? But the wrestling belts look like these beautiful, artistic, works of art, beautiful prizes, and boxing belts look like a fucking dish on a weight belt. It looks like a weight belt with a fucking plate on it.
That's kind of what they were because they just went and got them made.
They still are. They still are. I can't understand that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe at this point it's just the history of like keeping the lineage and keeping the thing of what they were. Just
Yeah, right. It doesn't make sense. The WBC is the best looking one, but it's still just a circle on a weight belt.
Yeah.
So I never understood that.
Well, honestly, let's think about it. They are. You want to compare it to the fact that pro wrestling is obviously predetermined and scripted, and boxing is a real sport, so it is almost like you're carrying around your own trophy to a certain degree. So maybe they kept that aesthetic of it actually being a trophy type thing.
I guess, but if I was a boxer, I'd want something that looks a lot more like the current WWF championship or WWE championship held by Jey Uso. I would rather have, or even the WWE, network. I'd rather have something that looks like this. If I was a middleweight boxing champion, I'd rather have something that looks like this than a dish on a weight belt. Probably, yeah. That's probably the truth. That probably is the truth. So.
And some boxers today might look at it and say, oh, look, I have the belt that Mike Tyson had, like you said, or Evander Holyfield had, or Muhammad Ali had, to keep that sort of lineage thing of,
Sure. There's a lot of people watching tonight. This is a pretty boring show.
Hey, we're just having some fun,
Why are you guys watching this? Go home.
We're having
Friday night.
Pissing some people off. It's what we do.
It's Friday night. So the main takeaway from this show tonight is get yourself the Big Eagle belt from WWE Shop. Get it because it's freaking awesome.
The best way I could describe this, having it here in person, is if you have the blue block logo.
Yeah.
Picture that same quality of straps, same quality of plates, just with the different logo and the different strap and backing. But the quality of it overall is the same, and that's a great freaking belt that they made.
Yeah.
That's one of their better replicas, and this is.
Yeah, I had that one, but because I have the HD from Alianis, I got rid of it. I didn't think I needed 2 blue big eagles. Yeah, so get it definitely. And other than that, and again, guys, be wary right now of ordering from Pakistan. Just try and watch the news. Do some research outside. They're not going to show it in the national news so much. Do some research. Google it. Pakistan, India. See what's going on. And if you feel comfortable ordering at that point, go with God. Do what you want to do. But
I want to finish on a real quick story today.
Oh, good. Story time?
Yes, it's a little story time. You're familiar with this one. You're very familiar with this one. So people hate Carmine. They think he's a piece of shit. They think he's a piece of garbage. A lot of people. They think, he's bad for the hobby. He does all this kind of stuff. He's only in it for himself, only wants to make money. That's all he cares. F everybody else. All this kind of stuff. Yeah, I was on the phone today with him.
Oh, no.
And 2 gentlemen came to his house and were actually enamored by the belts he had. I could hear them on the phone. Like, they were just, oh my God, holy crap.
Yeah, they were in their 20s. They were in their 20s.
Like, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. And, this piece of shit, this piece of garbage, human being, who should be strung up by his balls for daring to sell one belt one time for the first time in his life. Actually, I gave away several belts today to people who didn't have belts.
And they were really happy.
Because that's the kind of person he really is. He wants to see people happy. I'm just saying. I'm tired of this bullshit of Carmine's the evil bastard son of a bitch prick who deserves to die and have his skin shaved off his head and then flame broiled.
And props to Mike who sent some belts my way so I could give them away to some people too. And Joe, our friend Joe.
Yeah, the other version of this, the original version I have, is going to go to somebody, and an AEW TNT is going to somebody. And you know what? I actually may have potentially 2 more belts that I may be sending to you to give.
Yeah, I just give away. So yeah, I'm not going to pat myself on the back for that. I thank you for saying it.
I'm patting you because you deserve a pat on the back because I'm tired of the bullshit. I really am. I'm tired of it all.
It's something I do from time to time if people like them, and I say it's actually a selfish action because I get a lot of joy out of seeing how happy somebody is when they get one. There was another guy who came here, and I'll just tell this story real quick because you opened Pandora's box. He wanted the old school Intercontinental. I asked him what his favorite belt was. I didn't have one extra, so I ordered him an HD old school Intercontinental, and it should be here in the next week or so that he's getting for free. But it's not something I talk about or brag about. And Mike, thank you for bringing it up. That's a very nice thing. But everybody, if you can pay it forward, guys, no, we cannot do that. It's like Friends. Yeah, it's like Joey and Chandler. I've been watching Friends a lot lately with Stacy. Great show. Yeah, these were just young kids in their 20s. Yeah, they went crazy. They're just kids in their 20s. They were actually selling something door to door, and I'm like, I'm not interested in buying that. But the guy was like, "Oh shit, those belts!" And he came in. I was like, "Come in, you can look at them." And they were just, they were going crazy, taking pictures. And so I had some extras, and they were nice ones. WWE shop in the package. But I have extra belts that I have no room for, so. And Mike, like I said, thank you, and thank to our friend Joe who are giving me belts to give away.
I'm really disappointed that you didn't do what you're supposed to do, which is to try and make a profit and sell those belts. That you gave them away. So you failed yourself, you failed your community, and you failed.
No, I mean, listen, if I can make a profit in the future on some stuff, I will. As a business, but you don't have to make a profit on everything. And shout out to the 51st state. There's a 51st state. Did I miss something? Maybe breaking news here.
Yeah, Greenland, right? No.
Greenland? Canada. So, anyway, I don't know if Double Dropkick saw this. This is a Wildcat. I know he would like to see that. I showed it a little bit, so you can rewind it later. This is from Keith. So, all right, are we good? Are we good like a good boy should?
I think so. Yeah, why not?
I took the dog for a nice long walk today. Actually, he took me for the walk. I was intending to take him for the walk. And he literally just dragged me up and down the street like a rag doll. And what was, I don't run, but I was running today because it was either that or he was going to drag my ass. So we went a few blocks, and when I came back, Mike heard me. I was like, I can't breathe. Dog pulled. So when you got a big dog, they're going to tell you where they want to go.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you got complete control. Some people are good like that. But I don't have that with him. So
I always believe in a little bit of not control with an animal, because if you get to the point where an animal, sits, like every little thing, then it's not really even like an animal anymore. It's like a robot, or it's like
are they enjoying life at that point?
Yeah, when they're afraid to even tell you that they need to pee unless you tell them.
Yeah, like I don't want my dog afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
He's had an accident or two in the house because he has a condition, and but it's very rare. But when he does, he looks so sad and like scared. I don't know what his life was like before he got to me. So I always just hug him and tell him it's okay, and I clean it, But he's a good boy, I'm not going to yell at him or hit him or whatever. And I saw a story today. I'll tell you this. I'll end the show with this, and I'm sorry. It's a bad note. But family has this Chihuahua for 15 years, and they just dumped it in a shelter. Oh, it's old and it's sick. You piece of shit. I hope somebody dumps you in a fucking home when you're old.
When you're 80-some years old, hopefully they drop you somewhere and just never and walk away. Never.
My dog before this one was with me till his dying day, and he went down in my arms. And whenever this one's time comes, and I hope it's a long way away, he'll be in my arms. Fuck that shit. You get a dog, that's a lifelong commitment. That's a commitment for the life of that animal. Dog, cat, whatever. It's a commitment for the life of that animal. They have feelings and emotions. And if you can't handle that, then don't get one. They are not toys. Rabbits, don't get your kid an Easter rabbit that you don't intend to keep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go off on a tangent on this. So, all right. So, again, the overall theme is get the Big Eagle belt from WWE Shop. It's freaking awesome. You're going to love it.
Yes.
No, correct. You don't do that.
No.
You don't do that.
As painful as it is.
As painful as it is, and it sucks. And Bobby Heenan is the best of all time, yes.
Oh, by the way, go to the shop and buy your Shinsuke Nakamura side plates now, since he's...
Yeah, for the guy who left the company. No Cena plates.
No Cena plates, though, but the
Cena
Shinsuke...
plates.
Yep.
But we have plates for the guy who left the company. Weird. Sometimes I don't get their logic. But, all right, we love you guys. God bless you. Even though I'm not supposed to say God bless you, right? Because that's like a funny thing or something, like that you have religion and you love God. Anyway, God bless you guys. We love you. God bless you. Take care, everybody.